Chelsea's frustrating draw at Leeds has highlighted the need for more experience and better quality the next time we dip into the transfer window. And according to Kieran Mcgill of the Daily Mail, that's exactly what we're going to do. Also, we've got a little bit of news from the pre-match presser in the lead up to the whole game in the FA Cup, looking at who will and won't be available. Welcome, Blue Believers, to another episode of the Stamford Sync, where we are syncing up with everything Chelsea FC. And today, we're going to look at some tweets that are basically aggregating some news that came from a Daily Mail story of Kieran Mcgill that has some contradictory stuff in it, to say the absolute least. But guys, before we get into it, if you are enjoying the content and would like to see more, please do me the distinct honour of liking and sharing the video, subscribe to the channel, or just roast me in the comments. Whatever gets you through your day. Right, so Kieran Mcgill's come out with this article, all things Chelsea, and there's, look, you know, on the face of it, the headline is Chelsea are going to go massive in the summer, right? And that's exactly what you want to hear as a Chelsea fan at the moment, especially coming out of the January window, only bringing Mamadou Sarr back. You know, there were tentative looks at the likes of Antoine Semenyo and Marc Cucurella, but chances are we were rejected by them. The success of our transfer window is largely going to be dictated by whether we make the Champions League or not. But let's dive right into it. So Chelsea Dodgers has kindly aggregated all of these so I can go through them one at a time, and we'll have a little chat about them and see what we think. Starting off, Chelsea insiders are anticipating a busy summer transfer window with potential incomings in every outfield department after what turned into a sleepy January. Having lost out on Jeremy Jacquet late in the window, they remain in the market for a defender. So, interesting thing there, it specifically says outfield players, right? We're 100% looking at outfield players. So what that says, if we're going to get into the minutiae and pull it all apart, is that the goalkeeper situation is not something that we're going to look to address in the transfer market, but it may well be a point of Mike Penders gets brought back. And I wouldn't hate that, to be completely honest. It's difficult, isn't it? Because if you want to go for a title challenge, you know, are Mike Penders or Rob Sanchez good enough? I don't know, man. I don't know. At the end of the day, it's a difficult one, isn't it? But when it comes down to it, we do have goalkeepers. Do you know what I mean? Rob Sanchez has been really, really good this year. Mike Penders is still doing really well over at Strasbourg. And if we're going to go and spend a lot of money, is the goalkeeper still a situation we need to look at? Rob Sanchez is not the Rob Sanchez of yesteryear that was throwing it in the back of his own net and looking horrendously anxious and uncomfortable in between the sticks. So obviously the defender thing is massive. And if you look at how we lost the Leeds game, a lot of people are putting that down to Achiampong. It's difficult, isn't it? Because you don't want to be harsh on Achiampong because he's so young. But the truth of the fact is we do not have a solid, experienced centre-back that we can just call upon. And at the moment, and he was asked about it in his press conference as well, we are still chopping and changing all the time. Tosin Adarabioyo, not good enough. Benoit Badiashile, not good enough. Josh Achiampong potentially can be good enough, and has now been given a shot in the centre-back role for the first time, which is good. And for the most part, he looked good. But it's in those moments, do you know what I mean? We still can't rely on Wesley Fofana enough, and that's something that, you know, Liam Rosenior said in his press conference as well. We still are managing his minutes. Levi Colwill will be the same when he comes back as well. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be no chance of Levi Colwill just coming back in and playing 90 minutes all the time, because he's coming back off of one of the worst injuries in football. Yeah, the centre-back situation 100% is going to be an issue. And we need to, you know, 100%, we definitely need to look at that. Right back, left back, generally okay. I'm happy with our full-back spread, but the centre defensive issue is definitely an issue. We're going to get into midfielders a little bit later because there are some targets we're going to talk about. Obviously, the left wing in particular is not looking great, is it? I would argue the right wing is kind of sorted, man. If we don't sell Pedro Neto and we've got Esteval Willian and Giovanni Quenda there, that all looks pretty good, albeit they are very young. I think the best thing to do would probably be to hang on to Pedro Neto, but I have a feeling that if someone comes in with a massive bid for him, then he's probably just going to go. The left wing situation 100% needs looking at. Either Jamie Gittins gets loaned or Garnacho gets sold or something like that's going to happen. The striker situation, yes, João Pedro is looking brilliant at the moment, and I'm really, really pleased that he's kind of back from the dead, as it were. But Liam Delap does not look like a competent backup. Marc Cucurella is not really the guy either. You know, if we want to go out there and win something, and we definitely need a support centre attacking midfielder. You know, you can't get just another Cole Palmer, do you know what I mean? Or obviously someone that can just do it a bit more confidently than, you know, Buonanotte. And what we're doing at the moment is we're swapping through people. Andre Santos has played there, and Ender Fernandez plays there, and João Pedro plays there sometimes. Pedro Neto's even played there in a couple of spells. So yeah, it's an interesting idea. And looking at our team, it doesn't need complete surgery because the spine of the team is good. Like the goalkeeping situation we can debate about. Yeah, the centre-back situation needs sorting. The full-backs are cool. We've got great midfielders for our starting 11, but we need some more quality in there. for depth and rotation, and obviously fitness. The left wing situation is dead. The centre attack, we've got a great starter. Right wing, we've got good right wingers at the moment, and João Pedro is doing really well up top, but we need support for him. So yeah, there's an argument that at least most of the outfield positions do need sorting. So who's it going to be? Obviously, it's ridiculous to say at the moment, isn't it? Because we have literally just come out of January. We're not even halfway through February yet, but there is some news about what may or may not be happening with some of the targets we've already heard about. So this is where the contradictions kind of come in for me. So from the same article from Kieran Mcgill, he said, secrecy surrounds names of targets as Chelsea do not want to upset the clubs they currently play for, though it is understood Julian Alvarez is not among them right now, despite Atletico Madrid forward being heavily linked. So Julian Alvarez is being linked to lots of different clubs at the moment, and he is going to cost money dollar bills. He's a great player, man. I was really excited when I thought we might be going in for him in the summer. Exactly the kind of player we need. He's got Prem experience, absolutely healing it over Atletico as well. Like 40 goal involvements last season, man. I'm not exactly sure where he is at this season, but he's still having a really good season. But the contradiction, the weird thing is, so we're starting off with like secrecy surrounds, do you know what I mean? And then I'm going to get into some more targets in a minute, but we're being secretive about it, but also it's all over the place, do you know what I mean? It's just football, and it's just football. You can't keep anything secret, really. So yeah, Julian Alvarez, it's a shame, but at the end of the day, I do get it. He's going to be really expensive. João Pedro is doing really well, and I don't necessarily think we need to. I mean, we've got Emmanuel Omega coming in as well. That's another really big part of this, do you know what I mean? I saw that somewhere else. And also apparently we're linked with Sat Payev now. Can't remember exactly where he's from, but I know he's another young up and comer. But yeah, Emmanuel Omega is coming in. And that's the thing, we've got so many players coming in next season that we already own as well. Do you know what I mean? There's definitely that kind of thing to think of. So as far as actual targets, we're going to talk about the midfield, and the article went on to talk about Chelsea have midfield and attacking candidates in mind for the summer. They've been long-time admirers of Adam Warton and linked with Elliot Anderson. So again, I'd love either of these to come in, to be completely honest. I think it probably spells the end. I say the end. I think Dario Asugo might get loaned out next season or something like that if we bring one of these guys in, depending on the fitness of Romeo Lavia. Adam Warton, yeah, brilliant. Absolutely get him in, man. Like he's not entirely dissimilar from Romeo Lavia in terms he's a really good passer, but he's a bit more robust. You know what I mean? He's got a bit more about him in the midfield. Everyone's going to be in for Adam Warton, 100 mil. Probably. I know it sounds crazy, but Declan Rice went for 100 mil. Adam Warton is probably going to play for England, and he looks like an absolutely phenomenal player. 80 to 100 mil for Adam Warton. Crystal Palace are not going to let him go on the cheap. And then you've got Elliot Anderson. And the thing is, the reason why, not even necessarily just as Chelsea targets, but both of these players are probably quite likely to move in the summer if you think about their current situations with their clubs. Crystal Palace, Glasner has come out and said, I'm off. So Adam Warton's doing really well. If he can keep his stock high, he's probably just up for getting out at that point. And Elliot Anderson is going to have had 4 different managers this season. Literally, they started with Nuno, sacked him, got in Postecoglou, sacked him, brought in Sean Dyche. Sean Dyche has just been sacked. So he's just about to play under his 4th manager this season. And for a very talented up-and-coming midfielder who also is drawing the attention of lots of people and clubs, yeah, you would have thought Elliot Anderson also probably going to be on the move this summer. I think that, maybe Anderson would be a bit cheaper. Yeah, Anderson would be cheaper than Warton. But either way, if they both go to the World Cup and we do well, and they do well, they're sure, mate, their prices are going to skyrocket. It's going to be nuts. I'd be happy to see either of them in. I think there's no world where anyone gets both of them. I think we're kind of looking, it's almost like in the summer just gone, wasn't it? It was strikers, loads of strikers available on the market. It feels like that for the midfielders this time, with Warton and Elliot Anderson leading the chase. Also helpful because they're both English players, so it does help with the homegrown quota, which is always a good thing as well. Personally, if I got to choose between the two, I'd take Warton, but Elliot Anderson could probably play the Cole Palmer role as a rotation, as well as being able to play in a deeper midfield role. The problem is, for both of them, our starting 3 are Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez and Cole Palmer in the positions that they may get a sniff at. Do you know what I mean? If Adam Warton or Elliot Anderson went to Man United, they'd play every game. Do you know what I mean? Because they'd be an upgrade over what they've already got. Just as an example. And Liverpool are probably going... Liverpool have been quite heavily linked with Warton as well. And you've got to think, like, that's one of the issues with the Chelsea team at the moment, isn't it? Is we've actually got lots of first teamers in lots of our positions. Like, if you're a left winger, then you can look at our team and be like, I'm getting in over Garnacho and I'm getting in over Jamie Gittins. Like, no problem. Let's go. Let's do that. And even if you're a centre-back, you're looking at Benoit Badiashile, Tosin Adarabioyo, Josh Achiampong, Mamadou Sarr, and you're like, yeah, I'll get straight into that if you're a top-quality centre-back. But with the midfield position, we've got 3 of the best midfielders in the Premier League in our starting 11. So that is, I think, maybe potentially a little bit of an issue we might see when it comes to going in for the likes of Adam Warton and Elliot Anderson, is they're probably going to get offers from other teams that they're going to go straight into and they're going to be relied upon. They're going to play every single game. So yeah, I do think that will be a difficult thing. Ultimately, like, we just need to fill out our depth, really, don't we? But that is a really difficult thing to do, especially when all you want to do is buy young players. Definitely one of the issues with the model. No one's coming in and being like, I'm going to fight with Cole Palmer for a place when he's on, if he gets back to his form or whatever. You're not looking at Moises Caicedo and being like, yeah, I'll battle with Moises Caicedo for a place. I think I can edge him out of the team. Like, it's just probably not going to happen, is it? So I do see that as being a little bit of an issue. But either way, I think we might be on for a big summer one way or the other, whether it be these kind of big blockbuster signings or at least some quality depth to really fill out our squad. And like I say, I think we've got more pressing issues in situations like the striker backup and starting left winger and centre back. Do you know what I mean? They seem to be the 3 issues that we have at the moment, but we will see as it goes. We've been linked with both of these players for a little while now, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Right, and we're going to move on to the whole game, right? The whole game, the homecoming for Liam Rosinia. He played there, he managed there. He's got family there and his grandma loves it. And you know what I mean, it's all very lovely and sweet, isn't it? But in terms of the starting 11, there's one interesting thing that Liam Rosinia had to say when he was asked. So Liam Rosinia was asked about Mamadou Sarr's chances of starting the game, and he said, Mamadou has a great chance to start the game. It's very difficult for a player to move clubs in January. He's only been here a week, so he needs time to bed in and climatise. He'll definitely see the pitch at some point on Friday. So we're probably going to see Mamadou Sarr. And this is what he's been brought in for at the end of the day. Now, what will be interesting, if he does really well, he probably gets in over Josh Achiampong at some point, doesn't he? Because the thing is, Josh Achiampong may well be a bigger talent. I'm not really sure, to be honest, because we've seen so little of both of them. But what Mamadou Sarr has got is 18 months of first-team football in France at a relatively high level. Whereas Josh Achiampong has had, and the thing is, Mamadou Sarr was the undisputed starter for them for basically the last 2 seasons. Do you know what I mean? He was really, really relied on by Rosinia, 100%. He was like his kind of go-to guy. Even though he was so young, he was performing really, really well. So yeah, it's a bit of a difficult one. The Josh Achiampong thing is going to become more and more worrying if he gets even less and less game time because we've brought back Sarr. But as a Chelsea fan, as much as I love Josh Achiampong, what I really want to see is just us win games and thicken out our floppy depth when it comes down to it, right? Trevor Chalobah and Fofana have obviously been brilliant this season, but Fofana is still not, we're not able to rely on Fofana for every game. So it'll be really interesting to see Mamadou Sarr come and get some minutes at Hull on Friday. Just to see if he's at the level, man. Do you know what I mean? Because a championship team, they are a championship team, aren't they? They're not, definitely not lower than that. But yeah, a championship team is a good measure of, can you handle the physicality of English football? Do you know what I mean? To be thrown into his first game in England and for it not to be like against a relegation threatened Premier League team or something like that, do you know what I mean? Where there's a lot more going on in the game. Ultimately, even though it's a championship team, this will be a good test for him to see if he can, he's going to be in the impact zone, the high impact zone, one of the most difficult places to play on the pitch in terms of physicality. Do you know what I mean? Every now and again, you get a little centre-back that does well or a young centre-back that does well in the Premier League, but ultimately you've got to be able to to fight up there with the big boys, haven't you? In terms of injuries, so Reece James, the conspiracy theory continues, blah, blah. No, so apparently Reece James is not injured anymore. He's fit, but he has still been feeling under the weather. There is a massive, massive rise of norovirus going on in and around. Like, it's 50% higher this year than it usually is. So it's really, really, really spreading about. So it could well be that, because he said he's had a bug, and norovirus in particular is quite a nasty one, kind of causes gastritis and stuff. So I'm assuming that by the way, but I could understand why Reece James has been out for a little while if he's got gastritis, because it isn't pretty. But ultimately, he's been doing some modified training on his own. He is fit, and and it's just going to be about whether he's not under the weather anymore. Marc Cucurella, little bit of a worry. Marc Cucurella picked up a hamstring injury against Leeds and is not going to play the whole game tomorrow. So Marc Cucurella, if he gets injured, that's a massive worry, man. Especially he was just starting to look so good as well. Like, he scored the other day. He got an assist for Cole Palmer. Quite recently, he's really relishing that kind of left back, left wing back role rather than just being forced into the midfield all the time. And he's looking like a really, really good attacking talent. If it's a serious hamstring injury, that is a little bit worrying, I'm not going to lie. It's just one of those as well, isn't it, man? It's almost like if Maresca had played Yoro Hato more than 3 times, then maybe this sort of thing wouldn't have been an issue. But this is just how it is. Hamstrings can just happen as well. Do you know what I mean? So, 100% hope that Marc Cucurella is going to be okay. And as with Reece James, I would rather not risk him in a game like this, especially against Hull. Also, it's not a terrible thing for Yoro Hato to get more minutes. And truth be told, even if Marc Cucurella was fit and available, Yoro Hato probably would have got the start at Hull, wouldn't he? Because, that just kind of makes sense at this point. I don't expect to see massive heavy rotation against Hull, because ultimately, especially after the Leeds game, what we need to do is start building momentum. But it will be what it will be, and we will see. Right, guys, that is it. I'm going to start wrapping the video up there. Let me know what you think about all of today's noise. Kieran Mcgill, how reliable do we think Kieran Mcgill is? I think there's some contradictions in that particular thing where he's like, oh, it's secrecy, but even though there's secrecy, here's all of the things that I know and that are all over the news. Julian Alvarez, apparently we're out of the running for him. Disappointing, but I not like a gut wrench. Do you know what I mean? I really like Julian Alvarez, but I'm not too worried about that. Adam Warton, Elliot Anderson. Do you think that we've got a chance going in for a big midfielder like that who fits the profile and is also really experienced? It does seem like a good idea, but like I say, for me, the particular worry about that is our midfield starting 11 is kind of set, isn't it? With Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, and Cole Palmer. So either one you bring in, they're going to be looking like, how much game time am I going to get over the course of the season? And guys, as well, thank you for being patient with me. I had to take a couple of days off because someone very close to me needed a bit of looking after, but they are okay, and I am back. So nice one, guys. I'm going to catch up with you very soon. Take it easy.